Hi, my friend. Today's video is very personal because I finally understand why my life is so overwhelming. In fact, I wasn't planning to create this video, but I thought it was somehow related to my last video where I spoke about why me and my partner live separately in order to keep our relationship going. Well, it all started just a few days ago on Monday. After we finished cleaning our Airbnb, we came back to the cottage and decided to have dinner and watch a movie. It has been a long day of cleaning and we were both very tired. We watched a very Swedish action movie. I don't really like action movie, and I know all along I never like it. So I was just keeping him company. And while we were watching, there was a lot of shouting, a lot of violence, and I felt something was wrong with me. I don't know what it was. My heart was beating, racing. I felt like my whole body was shaking. I thought at first it was that I was tired, but then it was something else. I have watched action movie many times in my life, but I never felt this much stress. I was very uncomfortable. I felt overwhelmed. I don't understand why my body was reacting that way. So I told LG, I need to go back to the cottage and rest. And he thought I was sick, or he was a little bit worried. When I came back to this cottage, I was quite concerned because I never felt that before. So I described my experience with ChatGPT. That was the first time in my life that I heard about this HSP. It stands for highly sensitive person. Let me take a sip of tea. I hope you can grab a cup of your favorite tea too. So let's have a little chat here. And maybe you might recognize some of these symptoms too. Because 1 out of every 5 people have that HSP. It's a matter of how serious it is. I did an assessment questionnaire. There was 24 questions. I scored 20 out of 24, which suggests that I am a highly sensitive person. Suddenly, it felt something inside me that is so strong, and I felt for the first time in my life relief. Because for the past 60 years, I've been questioning myself. Is there something wrong with me? I've been to a few relationships. It didn't work. Something must be wrong with me. I often felt overwhelmed by people, their reaction when I said something. I didn't understand why I need so much alone time. I needed more space. I thought I just want to live a simple and slow life, which I thought I've been learning. I didn't think that this is the reason why I am seeking that direction. Highly sensitive people can be overwhelmed by noise, too much activities. It is not describing somebody who is weak or someone with mental illness. or someone who is broken. It's just a group of people who are extra sensitive to certain topics, and the way they process the information are deeper than many others. They often feel emotionally affected by others. For example, if somebody around me is very sad, I will take that energy with me, and that will carry with me for a few days, which means to say that I'm very easily affected by other people's emotion. I realized I couldn't work in the health department because I was mentally affected very much. Every day when I come back from the elderly care center, I felt really depressed, and I don't know why. I just cried and cried every day when I came back. I felt like it was a little bit scary because I suspected that somebody have studied my life secretly and knew what I was going through. Suddenly everything making sense, especially for my relationship with my partner LG. We are two different persons, like I mentioned in my previous video. Now I see it even more clearer. I am like the south pole of the magnet, and he is the north pole of the magnet, and it's very difficult for us to meet. When we meet, we expel. That's the issue. The problem is not on us. He could watch violent movie and could feel relaxed. For me, it's like a torture chamber. He can tolerate noise. He is very social. He likes to talk to people. Whereas for me, I prefer silence. And even though he's 71, I think he's more energetic than me. For me, I need more fika, break time, to keep myself going. Over the years, I thought, something was wrong with me. Why I needed so many silent times alone. Maybe it's simply we were incompatible. Neither of us is wrong. We just don't know what is going on. After knowing that I have HSP, why we have so much issue in the past, and how I look at our relationship now. I think the goal here in a relationship is to learn to understand each other, and that process is not going to be easy. Solitude is my medicine. It's like I'm charging batteries when I'm alone or in this environment. I cannot be with him 24/7 because then I'm using up my battery, and at the end of the day, I will feel so exhausted. In the past, I didn't understand that, but now I know that is the cause, and that is why I'm so glad that I have this space where I could recharge my battery. When I'm charged, I could go back to him and do the fun thing. And that is why I know now that why I love the forest, why I love to be in the nature, hugging trees, why I like to pick mushrooms, because that is where I have my alone time, in my own space. And also, even though we were riding motorbike, I also enjoy it, First of all, we don't have to talk to each other. I was sitting behind, and most of the time I find myself, thinking about things and also enjoying the sceneries. I love this way of simple living. Silent to me is comfort. I'm so glad because then I know that, if one day I were to be alone, or if LG pass and I'm alone, I will not feel lonely. The only downside about HSP people is that they get very tired easily, especially in a very noisy environment. That is why I was so stressed out when I was in Southeast Asia, especially in Singapore, having my friend talking non-stop with their love language. Because the time is so short and it's so intense, so we try to catch up as much as we can. And now that I know that I have this issue, I would tell them about my problem. Hopefully they understand what this is. People who are HSP is also people who are highly sensitive to its surrounding. Like for me, I could hear a needle dropping on the ground from the next room. Sometimes people might find that I'm a bit weird when I started to withdraw from the crowd. Sometimes I felt like when it is too overwhelming, it is too much for me, then it is best for me to stand a distance and just watch. If you were to meet me at parties, you will notice that I don't really talk so much. I like to observe people. It's not that I'm not interested in people. I just need to have my own space to study them, to understand them. That way, I feel much safer. Looking back onto my life, especially during my childhood, I noticed there is a pattern. When you're a child, you always have this fantasy, like things happen magically. If I want something and I really put my focus on it, sometimes the things turn out, to be in front of me out of nowhere. What I meant is, you don't sit there and just hope for things to happen magically without working at it. Sometimes, you think about it and then maybe you are subconsciously working towards that goal. And for years, I thought I was just lucky, or things just happen coincidentally. But I think somehow this sensitivity has something to do with it. But now I begin to see that as a gift. This sensitivity helped me to realize beauty in nature, empathy. It helps me to connect with people like you and make me feel gratitude deeply. I am not broken or defective, or I am looking for someone to come fix me. By knowing that I have HSP, it has given me closure, and it has also given me more peace, more than I expected. These few days, I totally look at life differently with the different lights. I am more at peace. I don't easily get irritated. I am turning 60 soon. It's never too late to learn. There is a lot more to learn. I will continue to protect my energy and put them in good use. And for the first time in my life, that I finally understand myself a little better. If any of this sounds familiar to you, I would love to hear your story. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you in my next video. Take care.